I took a job that required exactly one thing. Sit on a closed box from midnight until 4 a.m. That was the entire contract. Do not stand up, do not shift your weight, do not get off the lid, no matter what you hear coming from inside. I thought it was the easiest $200 I'd ever make, but there's a reason the pay was so high. And there's a reason I'm recording this now, staring at my bedroom door, wondering if I've already broken the only rule that mattered. I'm a student. I live in a studio apartment the size of a closet, which means I have two very strict rules in my life. First, never turn down easy cash. Second, never bring delivery boxes inside. I always slice the tape at the front door, take the item out, and leave the cardboard in the hallway for recycling. I hate the smell of warehouse cardboard. Keep the outside, outside. So when I saw an ad on a local forum offering $200 a night for a sitter, I called immediately. The woman who answered had a voice like crushed ice, flat, empty. When I asked how old her kid was, she paused. "There is no child," she said. "I get cursed boxes in the mail. If they aren't physically blocked at night, something comes out. That's how my last boyfriend went missing." I waited for a punchline. None came. "He just vanished?" I asked. "Yes," she replied, her tone completely devoid of grief or trauma. It's like she was telling me she'd misplaced her house keys. "He left the lid open. Anyway, do you take Venmo?" The absolute void in her voice gave me chills, but rent was due. She told me she'd mail the items to my apartment. I just had to sit on them. The first delivery was a heavy wooden chest. We met at a park so she could hand it over. I inspected it thoroughly. No hidden cameras, no false bottoms, just empty space. I took it home. At 11:55 p.m., I sat on the lid with my phone. At first, it was just boring, but right around 1 a.m., the wood beneath me grew oddly warm, not room temperature, body temperature. A few minutes later, I felt a faint vibration against my thighs, like a murmur trapped in the grain of the wood. Then came the knock. Just one, sharp and hard, coming from directly beneath me. I froze. I turned off my phone screen, plunging the room into darkness. I held my breath, listening. Nothing else happened. At 3:44 a.m., my phone buzzed. A text from the employer. "Is everything okay? You can get up now." I almost stood up. My legs were cramping, but the deal was until 4 a.m. I stayed put. The next morning, I checked my phone. The text from 3:44 a.m. was gone. Not deleted, it just never existed. When I asked the woman, she confirmed she had been asleep. The thing inside the box had tried to trick me. Over the next 5 months, I sat 15 times. Whenever the woman received a new container, the old one lost its power and could be thrown away. I sat on shoe boxes, wicker baskets. Once, I had to sit on a sealed vintage suitcase that made a wet, shifting sound whenever I adjusted my weight, like heavy, soaked meat sliding against leather. The tricks evolved. One night, I heard my own cat meowing desperately from inside the sealed box beneath me. The problem? My cat was asleep on the sofa across the room. I just smiled in the dark. Another time, at 2 a.m., I heard a massive thud from my kitchen, glass shattering, heavy footsteps. I didn't flinch. I sat there until 4:01 a.m., walked into the kitchen, and found nothing out of place. I became arrogant. I thought I understood the rules. The entity could project sounds, it could hack my phone, it could simulate reality. But as long as I physically didn't stand up, I was untouchable. I was smarter than it. Then came the final delivery. The woman had it mailed directly to my address. It was a standard brown cardboard shipping box. Following my strict department rule, I took a box cutter, sliced the tape right at the front door, and opened it in the hallway. Inside was a beautiful, intricately carved wooden chess box. The painted pieces inside had these horrible, twisted little faces, but it was small, convenient. I took the chess box out, kicked the empty cardboard shell into the hallway, and locked my front door. Because the chess box was so small, I realized I didn't have to sit on the floor. I took it into my bedroom, placed it under my blankets, and literally sat on it in bed, leaning back against my pillows. It was the most comfortable gig yet. At 2 a.m., the doorbell rang. I ignored it. The ringing turned into violent, desperate pounding on my front door. The wood rattled in its frame. Then silence. And then I heard the front door handle turn. A click. The door creaked open. Footsteps downstairs. Heavy. Confident. It's a trick, I told myself. Just an auditory hallucination. But the footsteps began moving in a pattern. A demented, mocking waltz. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Moving toward the stairs. I was glad my bedroom door was closed. I pulled my knees to my chest, making sure my full weight was still pressing down on the small chess box beneath the blankets. The waltzing stopped right outside my bedroom. In the silence, I heard breathing. Harsh, wet exhales pressing right against the crack under the door. It sounded like someone trembling with suppressed excitement. Then, long fingernails began tapping a rhythm against my door. My heart was hammering against my ribs. I couldn't breathe. I grabbed my phone and called the employer. She picked up on the second ring. Background noise of a party echoed behind her. "Hey," I whispered, my voice shaking. "It's getting too real tonight. There's someone at my door, waltzing." "I'm sorry," she said calmly. "Just don't get up. You're sitting on it, right?" "Yeah, I'm literally laying in bed on top of it." A long pause. The tapping at my door stopped. "You're in bed?" she asked. Her voice cracked. "Yeah, it's just a tiny chess box. Fits right under me." The silence on the line stretched so long, I thought the call dropped. When she finally spoke, all the calm was gone. She sounded hysterical. "What chess box? I didn't send you a chess box. I sent you an empty cardboard box." The blood drained from my face. "No," I stammered. "The cardboard was just the packaging. I opened it at the door. I left it in the hallway." "There was nothing inside it," she screamed. "It makes things. It creates illusions, so you'll open the real box and leave it unattended. Tell me you didn't leave the cardboard box open." The call cut to dead static. Outside my bedroom, a long, teasing whistle cut through the silence. I am sitting on a piece of wood that doesn't exist. The real box is downstairs, wide open. I need to run to the door and lock it. But what if the phone call was the hallucination? What if it's just a new trick to make me stand up? The doorknob is turning. If I stay seated, it comes in. If I stand up, I let it out. If you think you know what the right choice is, leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you would have done. Subscribe if this story made you double check your locks tonight. I upload new nightmares every week. Oh, and a piece of advice. The next time you get a package in the mail, make sure you know exactly what you're bringing into your house. Sweet dreams.